Hello, Grand Risings to all. I just want to say I'm so gratefully blessed today, in spite of what is going on in my world. And that takes perseverance, right? And I just want to sit and share a little bit with you guys today because I think it's really important that we kind of put things into its perspective, right? So, in a matter of hours, we will be tallying up the year 2021 and moving into 2022, right? And I don't know about anybody else, but I do know about myself that sometime in November is when I really start taking a look at everything from the beginning of the year into what it is that I want to do for the new year. And now that I'm here at the 31st of December, looking forward to January 1st, because this is different than 24 hours. This 24 hours will be a new year, the end of 365 days, 12 months, the amount of hours, the amount of seconds, all of that wrapped up in 2021. Tomorrow it will be a brand new clean slate in a new year, right? So a difference from a 24-hour day. So this 24-hour day will be a brand new year, right? And think about what it is that you would like to bring into the new year, which means that all of the things that you've been doing that were positive, that really helped you along the year of 2021, if those things are things that have helped you, and you're confident enough to bring them into 2022, go ahead, right? Because along with those things, there will be newer things that you can add on, right? If there were some things in 2021 that you really take a look at and see that it really wasn't working for you, then cut it off, right? And remember, we're stepping into a brand new year in a very different way, right? There's a way of delivering certain things, and you got to remember that the universe is its own energy and its own entity. So that means that it's alive, kicking, and free, right? So however we deliver everything into the universe is how it's going to manifest back out, right? So here's an example, right? You can take a look at how some of the things that were going on in your 2021 really made a lot of things for your life very difficult, whether it been people, places, or things, right? So I'm sitting here talking about, well, if you found that there were some things in 2021 that you think that is not going to work for you, cut it off so that way you don't bring it into your 2022. The deliverance into the universe is very important. So you can be like, you know what? I'm tired of this ass, F this BS, you know what I'm saying? All of that. And nobody's going to do this to me, and I'm not going to allow this more. And you start off that way. You're delivering your 2022, or you're delivering the information into the universe, right? In a way that when it goes and takes whatever it is that's coming out of your mouth and it's starting to do what the universe does, so that way it could put out and send that energy back to you. That is how you will be entering the trade, right? So your 2022, unless of course that's how it is, because you know what, sometimes it has to be like that. You probably fought too much and you just had it. But I just want to tell people, be easy on yourself in the new year. Even if you feel like that, you know what I'm saying, try a different approach. In 2022, I realized that X, Y, and Z wasn't really working for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to put that over here. It no longer serves a purpose. It actually didn't ever serve a purpose for me in the first place. So therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put this over here. That includes people, places, and things. And the reason why I'm doing it like that is because I have to have a very abundant 2022. So that means that if I clear off some of the things that I had in 2021, that makes it more easier for 2022 to go ahead and deposit those abundances and those blessings and all those things that I've been manifesting for, and the things that I will be manifesting for in 2022, because now there's space, because I cleaned out the clutter, right? And again, it's all about delivery, but it also depends on where you're at in the process, right? This year, I'm thinking about putting things in its proper perspective for me as an individual, and I'm trying to come in a little bit softer than I've been within the years before. Because as we get older and the more we journey and the more we start to get more spiritual, and certain things in your life start to become different, and you see things differently, right? And so, as you get older, and especially for me, when I say this, as you get older, certain things really don't matter, and certain ways start to affect, body, mind, and spirit, right? And I can't really view a journey or my states of being affected because of energies that I'm allowing to bring into myself. Listen, real talk, I can say that this person gets on my nerves, and because this person does this, these things happen. And you know what? All of that is true. But where do you stand in that? One of the last things that people want to do is be accountable for certain things, right? If you know that you're around a person and they just kind of like suck the last bits of energy from you, like you just know that they're like spiritual vampires in your world, right? You can point the finger at this person, but if you know that, then you know what? The work begins on you, right? Why do I allow this person to continue to be in my life knowing what I know about this person? You're saying, where is the part that you play in it? Because remember that everything begins and ends with you, right? If you're in a relationship, whether it be friend, family, or an intimate relationship, right? And if it's not working, and I'm talking about after complete 100 trying and it's not working, right? Don't stay somewhere for the sake of, right? Because what happens is that you start to apply more pressure on yourself, right? Sometimes breaking up out of something that is causing you a lot of pain, that piece is easier to deal with than the fact of you getting drugged or dragged through the relationship longer than you should have been in, right? I'm not telling anybody to break up out of any relationships. I'm not telling anybody nothing. But what I'm telling you to do is just take a look at where you at right now. One of the things that I was grateful to hear, and my mom always says this, is that if you don't like where you're standing at, look at your feet, take 2 steps, and move your direction, right? You don't have to be anywhere you don't want to be at. If you're in a job and you don't like it, right? Do something about it. Like, one thing that I know that is true is that the first thing about making a change is complaining about it, right? That's the first part of revealing the painful situation that you're in, right? I don't like my job. This is not going right. I'm not making the money. Things can be changed, right? Why wake up every day not feeling happy, comfortable, and free, and then continue to go back somewhere where you don't like it at? I know that, we can get jobs now because a lot of jobs being created. And I was talking to my sister about this. She said, yeah, there's a lot of jobs being created, but there's jobs that are being created and it's not suitable for certain people. Yeah, there's more jobs at McDonald's, and there's more jobs at restaurants, and there's more jobs at other places, right? Like easy jobs to get into. And that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because that's created an opportunity. But what about other things that are out there, right? But, you know, sometimes you have to put your best foot forward and you have to make the change that's necessary. You know, whether it's going back to school, whether it's connecting with people that you know what I'm saying, whether it's just biting a bullet and doing something different, right? Don't be anywhere where you don't want to be at, right? Don't do things that you don't want to do anymore. Like, I'm really proud of myself because I think I have to go after this video. I really have to actually check because I do this thing where I let a couple of days pass and then I check this particular app that I'm on, and it's like a reward for me. So one of the things that I have been struggling with, and this is crazy that I have been struggling with it, but it was my process, right? Was I wanted to stop smoking, like horribly, you know, and I think it's about 14 days now. I just let it go. I no longer wanted to do anything to myself that I knew that was going to continue to harm me, right? I just bit the bullet. I did the math on how much I was spending. And those of you who know me, like, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I smoke Newport. I mean, I don't smoke Newports. I used to smoke Newports 100, but I used to smoke these cigars, the Black and Milds. And I would pay up to 99 cents, right? So it was a cheaper method for me to get what I needed. However, it was a cheaper method to actually continue killing myself, right? And so when I looked at everything and I saw it for what it really was, I decided that I no longer wanted to. So what I did was I basically put it down. I no longer wanted to smoke anymore. And I joined a support group. I have this app that tells me how many days clean that I have, right? And so I just did something different. I want to tell you that in me doing that, it sparked something very miraculous for me. Because in that moment, I said, it reminded me of doing something else that I had did in the past. And when you break free of a bondage that you're held in, it's a wonderful experience. When you totally surrender to something that has been continuously killing you, whether it's body, mind, or spirit. When you let it go and you surrender and you put it down, right? And I love the word surrender in this aspect because a lot of times people be like, I don't want to surrender because you feel vulnerable. But you know what? You are surrendering the power that has been over you, right? And keeping you in a place where you no longer want to be at, right? And in thinking about doing that, I remember so many other times where I had surrendered to certain things and I no longer gave them the power or the energy no more. And it actually sparked up something in me to continue doing this because I said, if I do this, I bet you and I guarantee that this is going to happen. And you know what? It has, right? So I'm really grateful that I took that opportunity to do something like that. Right? So if you're doing something, whether it's smoking, it's gambling, it's cheating, it's lying, it's stealing, whatever it is, man, and it's not doing anything for you, surrender it. Surrender it. You know, give it up. Let it go. Right? Places. If you're going to places that you know that you should not be in, stop. Stop going to places that you don't need to be at, right? Because if you know that at the end of the day, these places are not going to be any good to you, or they're not going to be any good for you, right? Don't go. Don't go. Whether it be a friend's house, whether it be to the casino, whether it be to, I don't know, places that you're not supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever. Don't do it, right? It won't serve you any good. And at this point, what I'm trying to do and what I try to tell a lot of people that I'm working with is we're trying to align. We're trying to get big. We're trying to get to a place where we want to be even killed for the most part, right? And above and beyond that for a lot of the parts, right? And how do we do that? We do that by stopping, right? And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. It's so much easier to continue bad, negative behaviors. Like it's crazy how you can just fall right into something and continuously do it all the time, over and over again. But the moment you want to do something new that's beneficial and that's positive, that's when all the friction starts to come. I can't stop smoking because if I stop smoking, I'm gonna gain weight. Oh, if I stop smoking, then I'm gonna be agitated. Oh, if I stop smoking, then this and this and this is gonna happen. Oh, you know what? If I stop doing this, this is gonna happen. Stop putting those things into the universe, right? Those things do happen. I'm not gonna say that they don't happen, but enter the embargo, enter the agreement in a different way. I'm gonna stop smoking today because I don't want lung cancer. I'm going to stop smoking today because I don't want to die this way, right? I want to stop smoking because I don't want to make a video where I'm attached to a tank of gas and a nasal cannula, right? I don't want to smoke anymore because I'm tired of talking to people with bad breath, right? I don't want to smoke anymore because I can't continue to tell people that there's an easier, softer way, and I'm doing something different, right? So you have to be in a place where you're continuously doing some work, and I know it, because the first time we have to do some work, oh my God, this is that, and that's the first things that come up, right? Because when it comes to doing something that's productive, right, it's a lot of work. It is. And the first time we realize that, we do, oh my God, now I got to start doing this. Now I got to start doing that. But keep in mind what I said. It's so much easier to get caught up in the BS and then to stay there. And that moment when you wake up and you realize that's not working for you anymore, that's when all the whining and the complaining starts to happen. Like, we got to put on our big pants and we got to step into things that are like totally different, right? Like, if 2022 is a brand new year, then you know what? Come into 2022 as a brand new person, right? Be brand new in a brand new space. And forget about how hard it's going to be, right? I could tell you from past experience, right? There was a time in my life where it was nothing for me to just take things from the store, from people, you know what I'm saying? And just keep taking. And I remember one of the things that I used to do was clothes, a lot of clothes. And I had so many clothes because of just taking them that to wash laundry was a whole day thing. If I tell you that the laundromat opened up at 7, I almost didn't get out of there till 3, right? Because I kept taking so many things, right? And that was crazy. Like, when I said I was going to do laundry today, that was like a job. It was a chore. It was a 7 to 3. It was a whole shift, right? And when I took things that didn't belong to me. Like say if I stole a TV out of a store, or I stole appliances out of a store, and if they broke, it didn't mean anything to me because I knew where I could go ahead and get them. But when you surrender those behaviors, right, and now you start working for the things, so now you start making restitution into a new life, right? If you break a television that you saved up for, then you know what? When you're doing something different, now you have to save up for a television, right? And you don't feel the same way as you did when you were stealing it, right? When you are no longer taking items out of a store like clothing and stuff like that, and you know, maybe you ripped something, or you know what, something got stained, or you know, instead of me saying, oh well, I can go back to another place and get those items, you know, you realize that, you know, you save it for an outfit or stuff like that. And these are just small general things, but these are things that people do go through. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing my experience. And I'm saying that to say that change is possible. Change is possible with everything that we do. I want to tell everybody that I've been working with to continue to keep up the good work. Continue those private conversations that we have, those one-on-ones, because they're very special. Not to just get on the phone and talk one-on-one just to be talking, but at the end of the day, when I tell you guys, you don't know how much this has helped me out. Even though you're like, thank you, Angel, for talking, like, there has been such a big reward even for me too as well, right? I'm a person who does believe in communication, right? And I believe that delivery is so important. Is the way, you know. Listen, I'm really easy about certain things. If you like me and you tell me that you like me, then you know what, we have no problem, right? If you don't like me and you tell me that you don't like me, we still don't have a problem, because now I'm clear. As a matter of fact, we're crystal clear. But if you don't like me and you continue to be around me and I don't notice, then eventually we will have a problem. And, or if I'm doing something that you're not a part of and you continue to be around and you don't really want to be a part of it, you know, that will one day turn into a problem, you know. I encourage everyone to continue doing the work that's necessary. Like the assignments that I'm putting out, look at them. Please continue to check your emails, because there's a lot of information for the new year that's coming out. This new year, I really want to grab everything and put it in its perspective. Grab the bull by its horns, right? Remember that we're on a journey, and yes, for a lot of people that are journeying with me, this is very new information. So you look at it like this, real simple. For a long time, you was doing something, believing in something, right? Living something. And then you come to a place where things change inside of you. And you want different. And it just so happens that you come across people who understand what it is that you're talking about. And with that being said, you gravitate to that area. And yes, of course, when you get to doing the work that's necessary, it looks different than what you have been doing before. And I say that to say that, you know what, growing sometimes can include different material, right? I'm not telling anybody to forget none of the stuff that they've been through. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is the real definition of being open-minded. Being open-minded means that you are ready to be open to new possibilities, being open to new information, being open to something totally new, right? how do you get to know if what it is that you're doing is going to be good for you or not if you don't even try it, right? I got a comment from someone the other day that I have been talking to them about a lot of things that I've been doing. And he said to me, I took a look at your videos and I'm glad that I did, because they thought that it was something totally different, right? And I continue to put these videos out here because there was a time where I was in a negative zone and I didn't know how to reach up. And when I finally started to surrender to the lifestyles that I was living, there were people there ready to help me come out of the negative zone. And they didn't judge. They didn't judge, and those who judged didn't matter, and those who matter didn't judge, right? And I came into a place seeking help, right? And those people, they love me with myself. You know, no matter how I acted, no matter what I said, no matter what I did, they continue to give me love unconditionally and never, ever moved out of my sight, right? And they allowed me to be who I was. And because of that, I'm here today. And because of that, I do the same thing over and over again, right? Take a chance at doing something different, right? You could only say that, hey, I tried this and it didn't work for me. That's the only thing that's going to come out of it. Or you're going to say, I tried this and this is what I've been looking for, right? We could sit and talk about candle work, and we could talk about manifestation, and we could talk about the universe and all of this and spells and all of that stuff. That's fine, right? But when I talk about being aligned, right, and I'm talking about getting to the next level, we're talking about doing some internal work, right? Things that are necessary for us to be able to even get to a place where we can even see the results of a manifestation, right? Learning how to really work with the universe, right? Learning how to pick and choose your battles, right? What's more important? Prioritizing, you know? Because remember that anytime you're going forward, especially when you've been in a place where you've been held down, and the moment you wake up, you start to say, you know what? I don't want to do this shit no more. And you start to like go in a different direction. Believe you me, the powers that kept you down, you will actually feel them. Like when you're caught up in the grips and you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, like a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things. That energy, you won't really feel it because you're so consumed in what you're doing. But I guarantee you that the moment you decide to leave and stop, you will feel it. Like it would try to hold on to you, claw, tooth and nail. It will fight you tooth and nail to stay, right? But we have the power and we have the ability, right? Keep continuing to learn as much as you can. I have so many conversations with people on a daily basis and I'm learning so much, right? And if you have any questions, I'm here, and I've always told people, I don't know about a lot of stuff, but I know about some things, right? And if I don't know about certain things, like I'm able to sit in a place and listen to information that I've never heard before, right? I'm able to say that I don't know about that, but I'm willing to explore that, right? And so that when we continue to have these conversations more and more times, right? I'm in a place where, you know what, now I can be receptive to the information, right? Life is about learning new things. It's about a lot of things. It's about loving yourself. It's about being in a place where you're happy. It's about being in a place where you're successful. It's about a lot of things, right? And we have the ups and the lows and the in-betweens, right? But we dictate where we need to be at. We navigate in the areas that we want to be in. You know, and I want to touch on this piece also. One of the other reasons why I decided that I was going to stop smoking was something that was very important to me, right? The mouth is a portal. And in your mouth, or the mouth, it takes in and it ejects certain things, right? And the things that you're putting into your mouth physically go into your body, and it goes through a process of digestion and excretion, all of that stuff, right? So when you put in lots of junk food and things like that, then the results of whatever happens after the breakdown is what you get. When you put certain things into your mouth, and you wonder why you're getting so many things, like for instance with the smoking, right? Not only was I having more of a hard time with my oral hygiene, right? It just became a chore that I had to brush my teeth more, that I had to goggle more, that I had to, and I didn't want to waste that much time, right? And then on the flip side of the coin is the things that are coming out of your mouth, right? Inside of your mouth there's a tongue, and the tongue can speak blessings and it can speak curses, right? And as a person who is a spiritual person that gives information and advice to other people, this portal has to be clean. It just has to be clean. And I just think about that, period, right? The entry of what it is that you put in and the delivery of what you put out, right? This year, we're going to talk a lot about the energy and connecting with the universe. This year, we're going to talk about how to really manifest. This year, we're going to talk about what it is to be a Orisha practitioner. This year, we're going to talk about being in a place where we're aligning more, right? I'm encouraging everyone that has been working with me, please, do you a favor and do me a favor. Don't be so distant. I know that life has many different facets, right? But one of the things that I want to tell everybody is don't stay away too long, right? Because the longer you stay away, the further you get from the blessings. And now we have to deal with something different, right? Don't stay away too long. You know, if you don't agree with what it is that I'm doing, get on the horn and say, you know what, at the beginning I thought this was what I was looking for, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. I'm not going to fall apart about that, right? I'd rather you say that than I don't hear anything from you. And I'm saying that because in 2022, like even for myself, there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'm really not going to hunt anybody down anymore, right? I'm going to be open. I'm going to be receptive, but I'm dealing with a lot of adults, right? And the goal of somebody who's a spiritual leader, advisor, or even a potential godparent is to have the people who are following you, their best interests of their spiritual life. Like, those people become really responsible for your spiritual life, right? Everything else we could talk about, but those things are not, part of the process, unless of course we're talking about some attitudes and behavior. that will hinder. And so we check those so that we can get to the gate that we need to be in. I do want to continue telling people to continuously reach out. Stick with me. Stick with me because we're doing the right things for the right reasons, right? And the only way you're going to be able to achieve, right, is in numbers. You know what I'm saying? If we stick together, we can do things together, right? I'm journeying, but I'm journeying together. I'm journeying, and I have people that I can look around, right? And I know that no matter what, I get this instant gratification knowing that every time that someone says, hey, this is what's going on, and we sit and we talk, right, about things, right, it continuously reminds me of what my purpose is, right? So reach out more, get involved more, read those emails, look out for the newsletters, right? Continue to partake and stand up for something that is new and different, right? If you don't know and you have a lot of questions and you just really don't know what's going on, right? Step to me and ask. You know what I'm saying? Come and let's talk about things, right? Like I said, you may find that this may not be what it is that you're looking for, right? I'm grateful to know a power like God because God is so good to me in my life that he allows information to penetrate and hit me in my spirit and in my soul in all kinds of ways, right? And I'm not just limited to one way, right? I get his information and his blessings through many avenues, right? And so I have opened up myself to a place where I receive the information that's necessary for me to continue to live, right? I'm not surviving anymore in this world. I'm living, right? So again, I want to tell everybody, Grand Rising, right? I love you all from the bottom of my heart, right? And let's continue to keep up the good work. Let's continue to move in leaps and bounds. Let us take 2022 and manifest the shit out of it, right? Like everything that's in there that 2022 has to offer, you know what I'm saying? Let's lift up rocks. Let's lift up, you know what I'm saying? Let's move mountains. You know what I'm saying? Let's unwrap. Let's unravel. You know what I'm saying? Let us get everything that is for us in 2022. And there is a possibility that somewhere along the line we get stuck. You know what I'm saying? We call each other and we say, hey, I'm having a difficult time here. You're saying, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, I've learned so much just by even talking to the other individuals in the discussion room, right? About things that I didn't know about. And I'm grateful because you know what? These people, they feel like they could share this information with me and, you know, we exchange information. And I know how it is. You know, people don't give everything away for free, and that's fine, and I understand. But if you get around the right people doing the right things, you will be amazed of how people are freely able and willing to share information because you're just being there in their corner for something like that, right? Never take advantage of anything that's being given to you, but do your best to be the very best person you could be. Again, I love you all, Grand Rising, and I hope that we continue to see each other in the new year. Have a wonderful, blessed day.